Hey everyone, this is T-Pan. I just want to quickly make a video explaining why this generation is super heartless and why everyone focuses on instant gratification. Let me just quickly explain. I'm actually in the Gen Z generation. I'm 21 years old, a software engineering student, and I really want to explain exactly how I'm feeling at the moment and why a lot of people need to focus on themselves more. Because I believe that a lot of Gen Zs are just drifting and only dead fish go with the flow. I love that motto, right? Only dead fish go with the flow because it's the truth. If you're drifting, you're not making any progress. And I'm pretty sure everyone wants to make progress, but they don't know where. And the number one thing I really want to talk about is the environment. So let me quickly tell you a little bit about myself and when I was in high school and how I transitioned to college because I'm currently in college right now. So in high school, I was a very quiet kid. I didn't really care about hanging out around other people. I didn't care about being in a specific group. I didn't care about being in that environment. I didn't really care about being with other people. I really didn't want to talk to other people, to be honest. It's because I was just neutral. I could care less. Everyone was a great person, don't get me wrong. Everyone had their own personalities, which is nice, but majority of the people, they just love to smoke, they love to party, they love to just be on stuff, and they weren't really friends with each other. They were friends with the substance, which sucked, right? Because no one was able to create that deep connection with other people, which I saw a lot of people lacked in high school. And that was sad. Even like the females, like the women in high school, right, they were friends, but I could tell a lot of them were still fake to each other, which was sad. And another thing is, like, the reason I'm saying this generation is heartless is because, let's just say, oh, you date some girl, and okay, let's just say a girl dates one of your boys, right? And once you're dumped, she's gonna go after one of your other boys, which was crazy because at the end of the day, like, I don't understand how people are friends with them. Still, like, imagine your ex going after your friend. That's messed, all right? But yeah, aside from that, like I was saying, I was just a quiet kid focusing on myself. I loved my alone time. I loved my own company because I didn't have to talk to anyone. I didn't have to be disturbed by anyone. And I only hanged out with two people, to be honest, in high school. Meaning, those guys were like my friends at the time, right? And I'm still friends with someone still, but like it wasn't from high school, pretty much. It's from like a whole different timeline. But like I'm saying, I was pretty much just chilling with two people throughout high school, and it made me realize, like, even though I was so real to a lot of people, they're gonna be fake regardless. You gotta understand, you gotta pay attention to people's energy levels, you gotta pay attention to people's behavior patterns, you gotta just pay attention, you gotta be observant, and that's what a lot of people lack. They aren't observant. They need to observe more. There's so many red flags in relationships. There's so many red flags in friendships. There's so many things where you basically are lacking in, right? And if you're an observant person, of course, you're going to get out of these situations ASAP. And that's the thing. But otherwise, like, high school was just a mess in terms of everyone was not really 100% with each other. And of course, there were some genuine friendships. I'm not saying everyone was fake. I'm saying I didn't really care about high school. Like, I really didn't care. I didn't party. I didn't smoke. I was just chilling at home pretty much, right? Even like during lunchtime, I would just go home because I could care less. Like, I would love my alone time. Like, I would eat and watch YouTube videos. And like around grade 11, grade 12, that's when I really started to get into self-improvement. And that was one of the best things ever because that's when I started to pay attention to my mental health. And grade 12 was when I started to pay attention to my mental health. I wouldn't say my mental health was terrible, but it's more like I was aware of it. I was consciously aware what I need to do, how I can improve. Of course, I'm not at an area where I want to be in life, but I'm still making progress every single day. And I think that a lot of people these days, they compare their success to other people's success. And that's where they're messing up because a lot of people get upset with where they're at in life, right? For example, I would say, like, I know a lot of successful people my age, which is crazy. They're making over 10K a month. I know someone who's making over 50K a month, which is insane. It's like these guys built success because they worked through a lot at a young age, meaning like 16, 17, 18, just grinding, right? And I didn't know this stuff. back then. I wish I had the discipline back then. I wish I did a lot of things. But you know what's crazy? Instead of wishing, just focus on the present moment. I think that's a lot of people's problems. They focus too much on the future, they focus too much on the past. You get anxious. You get depressed because you're always thinking about the past. You get anxious because you're always thinking about the future. Just be in the present moment. The present moment is where you can actually get things done. And like I'm saying, I'm someone who overthinks here and there, right? But it's like you got to understand in order to get somewhere in life, you have to create these huge goals and make smaller tasks to achieve those goals. For example, if you want to, let's say, get a 90% in all your subjects, okay, what are you going to do every single day, right? You can't be like, oh, on Sunday I'm just going to study 10 hours straight for this subject. No, segment it. Basically, each day focus on studying 1 or 2 hours for each of those subjects, and it could probably all equal to 10 hours. And it compounds over the time. The compounding effect is very real. All right, that's another thing. Anyways, let me just get straight to college. I'm in college right now. I am very chill. I'm still not really into making friends. I do have a couple friends here and there in college. I would honestly call them acquaintances. It's because I don't really chill outside with them, right? And I don't really text them. I didn't even give anyone my number that's from my college, which is crazy, right? So yeah, college is pretty much chill. You have to leverage these experiences. For example, if you're a software engineering student, leverage the people around you. You could learn so much from other people, and that's what a lot of people are missing. Instead of focusing on instant gratification activities, instead of like focusing on watching some inappropriate content, playing video games, um, eating junk food, focus on delaying gratification, meaning you got to put in the work. So work out at least 3 to 6 times a week, eat healthy every single day. What you eat is very important because it really showcases how you're going to act the next couple of days, right? And how you feel. Another thing is you can meditate for your mental health. You could journal for mental clarity. You could do so many tasks, so many habits you could implement, and it just takes time. A lot of people think they need to implement everything all in one day, but the reality is you can't implement all these because you're gonna get burnt out, and that's another thing. Burning out is another topic I'll be talking about, but yeah. Anyways, let me just quickly explain my experience, right? When I was transitioning into college, I'm gonna be honest, I took 2 gap years. And that timeline, oh, it was pretty terrible. That's for another video, but yeah, like I'm saying, the reason a lot of people are heartless in this generation is because they're so fixated on other people's success and achievements. They could care less about making the other people generally feel good about themselves. They could care less. Everyone wants to use each other. Everyone wants to beat everyone else in, the generation, which is totally fine. Being competitive is totally fine. But another thing is, if you can't treat other people well, if you are generally a terrible person, you have terrible traits and all that, no one wants to talk to you. Like, bruh, sit your ass down. Go back in your room. Be a hermit crab or whatever, or hermit turtle. God damn it. But honestly, like I'm saying, a lot of people are just heartless. And it's not even the good heartless too. For example, if you're just cold-hearted, for example, I would say I'm a cold-hearted person because I don't generally talk to people. I run with a poker face in public because I don't care about talking to people unless if I have a genuine interest. I will literally come up to you, compliment you, or I'll just spark a random conversation with you. It's because if I genuinely think you're an interesting person, I want to get to know you, okay? Whether it's for like fitness, business, personal growth, whatever it is, right? You got to shoot your shot. A lot of people tend to put things to the side too. Screw that. Literally, if you see something and you want to get it, shoot your shot and actually focus on just doing it at that moment instead of putting it to the side. If you're procrastinating, you have a fear for something, then you got to figure out what that fear is. That's another thing if you're always procrastinating. But yeah, let me quickly talk about why a lot of people are overconfident. They're always, they're always, okay, I'll tell you exactly. something about a lot of people in Gen Z. They're overconfident. They have the audacity to be like an asshole to other people, which is crazy. I'm not saying everyone's like this, but I'm saying a lot of people are entitled. A lot of people feel like they're being owed every single time, right? Like, they have the feeling of being owed every single time. Like, oh, you owe me this or whatever. Whatever the case is, right? I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say if you're from this generation. And they have lack of deep connection. I believe a lot of people have a lack of deep connection with their friends at the moment, or quote unquote friends, because a lot of them are fake. A lot of them are not really trying to improve. A lot of them are not really trying to put themselves out there, which is totally fine because everyone has a different timeline. Everyone has a different path, right? Everyone focuses on themselves at different points of their life. It really depends. But if you're generally just watching this video still, it just means that you really want to improve. You really want to change your lifestyle. You really want to be surrounded with great people. And all this takes time. Like, for example, till this day, like, I would say, like, I only talk to a few people. It's because they have the habits that I really admire. I love when people are consistent. I love when people are disciplined. It just showcases they really love themselves and they're trying to become someone crazy great in the future, right? They want to achieve these crazy achievements or these goals of theirs, and that's sick. And then another thing is a lot of people lack the hard work. A lot of people lack patience. And let me just quickly tell you, for example, a lot of people are heartless in this generation because it's they're always jealous of other people. For example, if someone got a job, a crazy job, like 100K or 200K job right after graduation, of course their friends are gonna be like, damn, how did this guy get it? He's barely doing anything with his life, right? A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people put so much hard work behind the scenes. A lot of people just see the outside, what's in front of them. A lot of people don't really see what the person really truly has in their life, what type of traits, what type of skills, what type of habits. A lot of people like to see from the outside and judge a person. Like, basically, for example, a lot of people like to judge a book by its cover, meaning it could relate to, a person being judged right off the bat from first impressions. First impressions are important, but a lot of people just like to judge people and make conclusions, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys understand that everyone has flaws. I'm not saying everyone is a terrible person, but there's a lot of stuck up people outside in this generation who need to change. And it's okay. Having the humility, knowing that you're a mother, I'm not going to say the word, but knowing that you're a terrible person is good because you have the humility. You want to change, you want to try better, right? Which is great. Okay. But just keep it up. That's all I gotta really say. If you want to change, you have to constantly be putting in the work. You can't be procrastinating. You have to at least dedicate 1 to 2 hours improving every single day. And let me quickly tell you, this relates to Gen Zs being, they have the lack of discipline, lack of hard work because they're always fixated on instant gratification. That's one thing I hate about my generation. They're always, oh my God, I'm gonna be completely honest, hookup culture, disgusting. If I see a Gen Z, if I had a friend who's doing hookups every single week, having rotations and all that, dude, you're getting out of my friend group. I don't care. You're getting out of my life. Period. All right. The thing is, it's hookup culture, playing video games, watching inappropriate content, constantly consuming content. All of these are terrible habits. They're not really helping you at all. Especially the first three. Consuming content could help you. It depends what you're consuming. If it's just entertainment purposes, of course it's terrible. But if it's just generally like you're learning about business, self-development, whatever the case is, right? That's good. But a lot of people are focused on instant gratification, which of course that's why they're not improving in life. That's why they're always mad. That's why they're always jealous. That's why they have these terrible traits, right? And like I'm saying, a lot of people have lack of morals and values too these days, as well as standards. Everyone's standards are not the best these days. And I feel like once you start to really be consciously aware of what your habits are, who you're surrounding yourself with, how you're spending or giving your energy out, you start to realize that you have crazy standards. Your standards want to be up here. And of course, if you meet someone down here, all right, you can have a chat with them, but look, of course, you don't really want to associate yourself with a person down here, right? Because you want to get to the next level. You want to keep climbing up the ladder. You want to keep grinding to become the best version, to achieve the highest self, right? The higher being, basically, where you want to become the best version of yourself, whatever. And I know a lot of you guys can really improve your standards. The thing is, for example, if it comes to dating, having standards is very important. If you could say that you want X, Y, and Z in a girl, that cuts like the dating pool in half, right? Once you have standards, it's gonna be easier to find that person that you're attracted to. But another thing is, it could be like if you have a standard, specific standard for yourself when meeting new people, you cut down a bunch of people, right? And meaning like, oh, this guy doesn't really align with my goals. Okay, let's not surround myself. Let's not associate myself with him because at the end of the day, he's not really going to help me improve. And that's kind of being selfish, but that's also another thing. You have to be selfish in your 20s. Okay, if you want to achieve something crazy in life, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to become someone great, you have to make sacrifices. You have to make these crazy sacrifices where a lot of people are not willing to do because a lot of people are trying to live in the moment, meaning like they want instant gratification activities every single time, which is trash. Focus on delayed gratification. I'm not saying completely cut out all instant gratification activities. You can have fun here and there, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, know that there's consequences behind your actions. That's one thing I always tell people. There's always consequences behind all of your actions and the words you tell yourself. Honestly, this video was really just out of the blue. Honestly, I just want to talk about how this generation is very heartless and why everyone focuses on instant gratification. It's quite sad, but that's life. Just remember to take it easy and everything will be fine.